Tell us your name and tell us about your project.
My name is Nick Dunaway, and I was a member of Edwin Hubble's team at Mount Wilson Observatory um, as he conducted numerous galactic observations, including his research in nebulae or the fuzzy patches of light in the night sky. These were believed to be nothing more than star clusters around our Milky Way galaxy at the time.
What were you guys trying to do or find?
Um, Well, many astronomers believe that the entire universe was contained in our Milky Way galaxy. In 1923, Hubble found Cepheid variable stars when he focused the telescope on the Andromeda Nebula. Um, the stars he found were very similar to the ones in our very own galaxy. Um, He concluded that this was no star cluster, but rather a galaxy we now know as the Andromeda Galaxy. The fluctuations in the light of the stars allowed Hubble to determine the distance using the relationship between the period of the Cepheid fluctuations and the star's luminosity. According to his predictions, the Andromeda Galaxy was about 900,000 light years away. Um, it's believed that the Milky Way galaxy is about 300,000 light years in diameter, so this would be way out of the Milky Way galaxy. With this and other discoveries, by the end of the 1920s, astronomers began to accept that there were a myriad of galaxies in our universe, most of which were actually moving away from us.
Where did the project or experiment occur?
We conducted all our research at the Mount Wilson Observatory in California.
And what other significant events were happening around the world at this time?
The Roaring Twenties were a very interesting time to be alive. There was enormous social and political change happening. For the first time, more people were living in the cities than on the farms. Al Capone was at large because of prohibition. Um, African American culture, we saw more of it with the rise of jazz and blues. Um, Also, the automobile, the Ford Model T was the first affordable car. It was just $260 when it was released in 1924. Um, we also saw the rise of mass culture in this era. Um, the economy was great. Businesses were booming. People were consuming. They were buying all the same things. Though they bought the same clothes, listened to the same kinds of music, ate the same foods. Everyone was pretty much doing the same things, which is quite different from the diversity we see in America today.
Who else was involved in the project?
Um, One of the scientists who assisted Hubble and I on our endeavors was Milton Humason, who ironically started as a laborer during the construction of our Wilson Observatory. He was then a janitor and a night assistant before he began working with us. Um, we also worked with a distinguished mathematical physicist and chemist, Richard Tolman, who greatly assisted Hubble as we studied external galaxies of the universe.
What was your role in the project?
My role in the project was to try and help determine why the external galaxies almost all seem to be moving away from Earth. Um, that was according to our redshift distance relationship that we were working on.
And what impact did your project have on the physics community?
We definitely made a huge impact on the physics community. Our discoveries were huge. I mean, as big as that of the Earth being round and revolving around the sun, our redshift distance relationship was quickly meshed with the theory of the expanding universe. Um, our discoveries also led modern scientists to other big discoveries such as dark energies.
What other interesting things can you tell us about Edwin Hubble? Hubble.
Well, something that I really envied about Edwin was how well rounded of a person he was. Of course, he was an amazing astronomer, but he was many other things. He was an extremely gifted athlete. In fact, his focus was on sports as he was growing up. He played basketball, football, baseball, and he even took up boxing. In college, he set the state record high jump at the University of Chicago, and he even coached high school basketball for a little while. He was a Rhodes Scholar and studied law at the University of Oxford. Another cool fact is that Albert Einstein actually thanked Edwin Hubble for his research in astronomy.